2023 is an election year in Karnataka. It's being billed as a tight contest between the Congress and the BJP. Now, there is no shortage of issues for both parties to discuss. There are massive quota protests by groups like the Lingayats and the Vokaligas. There are deadly potholes claiming lives every week. There are crimes linked to women's safety. But the BJP is not concerned about any of that. Guess what their state president has described as the most important poll issue. I'm not making this up. Love Jihad. I'm talking about this man on your screens. His name is Nalin Kateel. He's a BJP MP and also the party's state president. He was addressing his supporters at a meeting on Monday. Now, Mr. Kateel says, forget issues like sewage and roads and potholes. They are all minor, they are petty issues. Instead, you need to focus on big issues. You need to focus on protecting your children from Love Jihad. And you have to listen to this. Just listen in to what he's saying.
Nalin Kumar Nalin Kumar Nakku nimigenu bangara sikta illa nimma makkala ಬದುಕಿನ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಲವ್ ಜಿಹಾದ್ ಎಂದು ನಿಲ್ಲಿಸಬೇಕಿದ್ರೆ ಭಾರತೀಯ ಜನತಾ ಪಾರ್ಟಿ ಬೇಕು ಲವ್ ಜಿಹಾದ್ ಎಂದು ನಿಲ್ಲಿಸಬೇಕು ಭಾರತೀಯ ಜನತಾ ಪಾರ್ಟಿ.
Now, it's not just about this one comment. It's about the constant fear-mongering by the BJP. Just think about the issue that they have raised in the last 1 year. These are a list of issues that we have managed to pull out. First, we had the whole Tipu controversy. The BJP cancelled Tipu Day celebrations and dubbed the ruler a bigot. Now remember, we are talking about a man who died in 1799. 1799. Only the BJP can tell us why and how this is relevant in 2022. Then we had the hijab row. The Karnataka government stopped young Muslim girls from going to schools in hijab. There were protests, there were counter-protests, court cases as well. And who suffered because of this stunt? Young girls who lost their right to an education. After hijab came halal. The Karnataka government proposed a new bill to ban the sale of halal meat. The government said only the FSSAI can certify food, and so the halal tag is illegal. No prizes for guessing who the government was targeting. And finally, we have the Love Jihad claim. You have the state party president telling us and advising citizens of Karnataka in an election year to completely ignore issues like roads and sewage. He says these are petty issues. So what exactly should the voters be focusing on? Parties turn to divisive politics and dog whistles when they have nothing to show for, when their report card has nothing impressive to campaign on. So should we take this as an early indication of what the BJP's campaign will look like? A lot of hatred and very little substance? I'm going to take that. All right, let's quickly listen in to the soundbite that has come in, and then I'm going to go across to our guests for a very quick chat.
That is why he has given a worst this one. They are not looking at development. They are looking at hatredness. They are looking at dividing the country. That is why we are only looking at development. We want what people get. They are just trying to take people on emotion. We are trying to take the people on development and see that their stomach is fulfilled. We want jobs to be created. We want the price should be, a rise should not be a problem to the all common men. We are worried about the daily living of the people.
A legislator comes to really do a development work to make people's life better. Here is one politician who says division is far more important than development. And Mr. Narendra Modi, you said Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas or Sabka Vishwas. If it is Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas and Sabka Vishwas, I don't know how you are going to have a leader like Nalin Kumar Kateel in your party. Such a shame, and absolutely India should watch that this is what few leaders want to really take India to, not towards development path.
Let me go across to our guest this evening. Dr. Sudha Halkai is spokesperson of the Karnataka BJP. She's joining us on the broadcast. Lavanya Ballal is spokesperson of the BJP, joining us on the broadcast as well. Brijesh Kalappa, leader of the Aam Aadmi Party, is also a senior advocate. And KV Dhananjay is an advocate of the Supreme Court, also a resident of Bangalore. Dr. Sudha Halkai, first to you. This is no ordinary party worker who's who's saying that thank you, ma'am, thank you for being with us. I have a feeling that this is going to be 3:1, but I'll give you ample time to speak because I don't want to be accused of targeting any political party. But ma'am, here's the question to you. This is an MP from the BJP. This is the state president of your party in Karnataka. And it seems he set the tone for this election. Are we really to believe, as citizens of this country, that road issues are not important for us, that pothole-free roads are not important to us, that sewage is not important to us? The only thing that should be important to us is love jihad.
Shall I proceed? Thank you. See, the first and foremost thing, as I always tell, thank you so much. The thing is, what he really meant to say is to safeguard our daughters. And we wholeheartedly, I as a woman, I accept whatever he said and I stand by his words because we, the Bharatiya Janata Party has done a number of schemes, as I've told earlier, also take it roads. When it comes to the roads, it is 150,000 kilometers of roads have been done by 2021, whereas in 2014, 94,000 kilometers of road was constructed or whatever it is. Then comes, you're talking about water, it is either through Jal Jeevan scheme and through the Mane Manege Ganga scheme, where 84 liters of water is given, drinking water is given to the rural houses. Okay, I'm not talking about the urban houses, to the rural houses, whereas in 2013, there was 44 liters of water per head it was given. So the Bharatiya Janata Party, there is, you cannot even count how n number of schemes they have come up, and they are really working on the ground. And talking about Love Jihad, yes, it is definitely a matter of concern.
All that is very good.
In Karnataka.
Ma'am.
Yeah, in Karnataka. Yeah. Yeah, can you hear me? Yeah. And
I'm saying all that is very well. Yes, all that is very well. But Mr. Kateel is telling us that all that is not important. All that is not important. What is important is Love Jihad and protecting our children from Love Jihad. That's exactly what he said.
No. We are done this with matters of the construction of the roads or water or all the basic necessities. More than the basic necessities, our government has done everything, including the security of the women. Let me tell you one thing, Beti Padhao, Beti Bachao. It is not Hindi Beti Padhao and Beti Bachao. It is Beti Padhao and Beti Bachao. The Ujjwala scheme, the Sambandh scheme. So there are so many schemes. 13 schemes are there for the women. You tell me, have they? No. Have they given it only for the Hindu ladies? 2019, maximum number of women have voted for the BJP party. India 2019, it is a history that maximum number of women have voted. Then how did this come if the government was not towards women? Yeah, of course, what he is saying is right. I stand by his right. Because
you're talking about Beti. You are saying what he's saying is right. Okay. But you're talking about Beti Padhao, Beti Bachao at a time and on a day when we have had a young woman, a young college student being stabbed to her death in a Bangalore college.
Yeah, of course.
All right. And let me not get started on potholes. In the city of Bangalore, which is the showcase city for Karnataka, the capital city. Anyhow, let Lavanya Ballal come in.
It is Lavanya Ballal. The BJP government, the law and order.
No, ma'am, एक minute. Ma'am, I'll.
Done. I'll wait.
Okay, let Lavanya Ballal come in and and we'll just speak on what Mr. Kateel has said, Lavanya Ballal, because otherwise this can become a broad-based, never-ending conversation. But what the BJP spokesperson on the channel is saying is that what essentially he tried to say, Mr. Kateel tried to say, that we've already built fantastic world-class pothole-less roads in the entire Karnataka, and we've given water to everyone to drink, and every woman in Karnataka is safe. So he's saying we're already done with that. Now we have to protect our children from Love Jihad. So he isn't saying that roads and sewage is petty issues. He's just saying that Love Jihad is now the issue that we need to concentrate on.
Good evening. Mr. Nalin Kateel comes from my hometown, which is supposed to be land of intelligent people. Now I'm questioning the intelligence of my district, which has voted for him. Because if Mr. Nalin Kateel would have traveled by road from Mangalore to Bangalore, he would have known the potholes are the size of, the mini cars in India. The potholes are so huge, extremely huge, especially in this Sakleshpura area. If he would have traveled by road, he would have known that. We have seen the roads in Mangalore. Let's forget about Bangalore. Mangalore, his constituency. Look at the number of potholes there. Look at the village that he has adopted. Look at the pathetic situation that village is in. And as far as Love Jihad goes, Mr. Amit Shah in the parliament had clearly said India does not have a record of Love Jihad. Now, is he contradicting our Home Minister? Is something that BJP needs to clarify to us. And also, he set an agenda for the state wherein his divisive politics does not acknowledge non-Hindus as the citizens of this nation, which is a tragic thing. You know, 3 years they have been ruling. If they had anything to talk about, they could have spoken about the achievements. They could have declared Mr. Bommai as a CM face. Thank you.
Okay, Brijesh Kalappa, any views on the sort of discourse that is possibly being set for the upcoming elections? Because eventually the Aam Aadmi Party will also have to get into it.
No, naturally, the first thing is that there have been 35 pothole deaths so far in Bengaluru alone, right? And the BJP government had been blaming the rain, had been blaming all kinds of situations. Now there have been about 35 or more deaths. Now Lavanya has just very articulately spoken about the situation outside of Bengaluru. Now if one were to go either to say Tamil Nadu or to Kerala, you would find that the roads are in far better condition than they are in Karnataka. So it's a miserable kind of situation that we are facing in Karnataka insofar as the road situation is concerned. Now, insofar as even, very important issues like Mahadai and such others, the central government has absolutely shown absolutely nothing in terms of real work, right? So there are a lot of serious issues which are to be grappled with. Now, Nalin Kumar Kateel does not say that, like the BJP spokesperson here, that we have grappled with these issues and we have come out successfully. We have surmounted these issues and therefore we are now going to talk about Love Jihad. What he says is, no, those issues are not important because we have failed on those issues. We have failures in terms of bringing about basic governance issues, in terms of making sure that the average person is able to lead a respectable life. And you see, you must understand that as paying public, one must understand that one, he pays taxes, he pays road tax, he pays vehicle tax, and when he takes his scooter out or car out, he's not sure he can return home. This is a slap on their faces. 35 people have died thanks to government apathy, and here is the president of the Bharatiya Janata Party who says, no, that's okay. There have been so many people who died, that doesn't matter, but let's talk about Love Jihad. This is clearly a diversionary tactic, something which is completely, to be condemned. It's condemnable and something which cannot be accepted at all by a party which says that, we are a party with a difference and we are a party of progress and such others.
Dr. Sudha, the clear charge that the opposition is making against you is that these are diversionary tactics. You couldn't fix the roads.
I don't take any of these topics.
Every time in Bangalore it rains. Ma'am, fact is every time it rains in Bangalore, what happens?
Just give me time. I'll tell you.
What happens? You know, right? You know what happens. I don't have to tell you that it turns into a swimming pool. What do your ministers in charge say every time? They say, oh, it rained too much. Unprecedented record rains, which is why it's flooded. Diversionary tactics, essentially.
Where the girl is trapped, married, unmarried or unmarried, she's cut into pieces and thrown away. What do you say about all these Love Jihad cases? This is a demographic war against the Hindu families by the Muslims to increase the population of the Muslims and to break down the Hindu families. Please try to understand. And regarding the hijab, this one of our respectable Chief Justice, that is Rituraj Avasthi, he is from the Chief Justice of High Court. He has given a verdict, 129 pages verdict, that hijab is not compulsory in the Holy Quran. It has been mentioned. It is not. It is just for the social security or whatever it is. It is not compulsory. So when the justice only has told that, and keeping the Holy Quran in preference, okay, it is not through any of our Hindu ideologies or something. Then how you people are justifying that?
So let me tell you what else.
About the Hindu girls? What about the Hindu girls who are being trapped and?
Listen to Hindu girls. Since you've brought the courts in, Dr. Sudha, since you've brought the courts in, let me just quote from some courts only about what we call what the BJP calls Love Jihad. Delhi High Court: state cannot prohibit interfaith couples to marry. Supreme Court: society must learn to accept intercaste and interfaith marriages. Allahabad High Court: adults have a right to choose their partners irrespective of their religion. etc., etc. This is what courts are saying.
Yeah. Courts are saying for the
What you
interreligious
call
marriages,
love
but-
jihad
No,
is
that
otherwise
is
called
because
interfaith marriages in this country.
interfaith marriages,
And that
we
should
do accept with the
definitely
other
not be a
religions.
poll issue or a poll
No.
agenda.
No. This is not a poll issue. This is our emotional issue. We are safeguarding our daughters because they have been cut into pieces. Trust me, there are so many cases where after the marriage, the Hindu girls have come with the security with for the BHP or Hindu Rakshana Vedika and all to get them out of those marriages. They have been treated very ill after the marriages. So this is how we are coming out with this love jihad law and all. So let us be it. See, we are all women. We need to be protective and emotional about a woman. We just cannot throw our daughters to anybody. Yeah, it is not that. We cannot accept this. After seeing so many cases
so it
of
is
love
okay
jihads, we
that
have
our
come to this
daughters,
conclusion.
it is okay that our daughters riding on a scooter will topple over a pothole and die. That is acceptable.
We are not saying that. See, we are taking utmost care for all.
But
the
her
sectors,
marrying a
taking the
Hindu
roads,
boy, a Muslim boy is not acceptable.
Take the road issues, take the water issues, take the other issues. I will tell you 740 schemes. You take the history from all the 75 years of our independence, and you very well you will get to know
can
what
count
is the
5,000
growth
schemes,
of our country.
but on this channel, every fourth day there is a story coming from Bangalore. Every time
That
it
is
rains
because
in Bangalore, it
because
becomes a
elections
swimming
are
pool.
there. I'll
The
tell you,
entire
because
country is
elections are
shamed
there,
because this
the
is
whole-
India's
no,
IT
they don't
capital.
have issues.
Then
No,
there
they
are
don't have
pothole
big
deaths
issues.
every second week.
They don't have big issues. They're coming with this. I'm not saying pothole deaths are small issues. I'm not saying that. Okay, I'm absolutely accept that none of these things should have, be taken for granted. But on a larger respect, our government is working hard on. You take it the budget also. Recently, it was thousands of crores have been given for the water, for the drinking water facilities and everywhere. So it is not that we are just talking in the air or something. Please go through the schemes and the sanctions by the Honorable Chief Minister Mr. Bommaiji in the Suvarna Sauda in the recent sessions.
Okay,
See, we are really concerned for our daughters.
KV
So it comes
Dhananjay,
out of our
Dr.
emotions,
Sudha
yeah?
essentially, एक minute. Okay, you're saying this is emotional. KV Dhananjay, Dr. Sudha, who is representing the BJP, is saying that this whole love jihad thing is very emotional, that we need to protect our daughters and that comes above everything else. In any case, we have made Karnataka Ram Rajya. There is no other work left to do except this. But why do we expect politicians to, talk on mudde ki baat, as it were, during election season? They never do. So why should we expect it out of them as citizens?
Well, the election will be held in May 2023. So we are 4 months away, and I think we should expect more of these kinds of statements and polarization. Look at what happened in Gujarat. They took the unprecedented step of freeing the rapists in the Bilkis Bano case, and it's only natural for them to associate that with the unprecedented victory in Gujarat. They beat the anti-incumbency in Gujarat in a very big way. So this is a party that certainly would fear the fact that in Karnataka from 1983, there has always been a musical chair. No political party will retain power the next term. If at all it does through a coalition, which means it's a very, very different arrangement altogether. So I think they are terribly scared that Karnataka is slipping out of their hands, and that might explain why all these kinds of polarizations are increasing by the day. By the way, a few days ago, a church was vandalized and an idol there were desecrated. So I think that is the spirit in which we've got to see this. But at the end of the day, I don't think anybody is even challenging the BJP to come out with actual numbers for Love Jihad, because the Love Jihad cases have failed across the country. You happen to read from the Delhi High Court, from the Uttar Pradesh High Court. It's not just these two high courts. We have 24 high courts in the country, and almost 17 or 18 of them have had the occasion to talk about Love Jihad. And when they do, they inevitably find fault with this narrative that, okay, Hindu women are being lured by Muslim men for the purpose of conversion and all that. This is a narrative that does not stand to scrutiny. And the unfortunate thing is that no one is really questioning the BJP to come out with the data. The BJP spokesperson can only talk in general terms. If you were to ask her to give actual instances of Love Jihad, what they describe, they will simply turn a blind towards that, because they don't really have the data. And if at all they can furnish data of 3 instances, 4 instances in a state which has a population of 6+ crores, you would laugh at it. All kinds of isolated events happen. Right now, as we speak, it's possible some married woman is chopping off her husband somewhere. So what kind of generalization would you possibly make out of that? None. So they take isolated instances and then they feed the narrative. And the problem here is that the opposition political parties, now you had the Aam Aadmi Party, what exactly did they do? What did they even open their mouth about the Bilkis Bano episode in Gujarat? They didn't. Because they felt, oh, maybe they will lose some votes if they were to condemn that incident. So the problem is every party, including the Congress, of course, the Congress would want to certainly, want the minority
We
vote.
have
And
come
they
up
would
with
go
the
to any
data
extent.
regarding drinking water with
They
the
would-
roads
they
and
would
with
go
the
to any
hijab
extent.
court justice as well. So I've always
No,
been
what
coming
I
up
meant
with
to
the
say
data.
is the
Please don't say that.
No, sir,
No,
ma'am,
okay.
ma'am,
What I was
ma'am.
saying is the Congress party at the end of the day
Ma'am.
certainly does not question the BJP party about that on the Love Jihad. The BJP just can't provide you with any number there. For the simple reason, if they should provide any number at all, they will look like idiots. This is an isolated incident. Whatever they call as Love Jihad is an isolated incident. And because it's an isolated incident, you can't really build a meaningful narrative around it. And to build a meaningful narrative around it, you will need fools for your political opposition. And that's what is happening. And by the way, mind you, madam, this next 3 months, I'm quite scared about what all could happen in Karnataka. The BJP is hell-bent on retaining this. And we don't know what kind of experiment we're going to see in Karnataka. And we all must be concerned and we must be vigilant and watchful. That's what I would like to point out.
I'm going to give 20 seconds to Brijesh Kalapa and 20 seconds to Lavanya Ballal to respond to what KV Dhananjay is saying. He's an advocate of the Supreme Court and he's saying simply this, that the BJP wants to create a narrative and the Congress and the Aam Aadmi Party are allowing them to create that narrative. Is it because the Congress is itself peddling somewhat of a soft Hindutva? So taking a strident position against something like Love Jihad simply will not serve your political ends as well, Lavanya?
Absolutely not.
You
We
take
do
it to
not
the election
practice soft
issues. Please don't do
Hindutva.
that.
We do not practice soft Hindutva at all. We condemn whatever narrative that the BJP is taking. And KV Dhananjaya makes a very valid point about, it is very scary what will happen in the next 3 months because BJP is desperate and desperate people do desperate actions. They take desperate measures. So we are very scared about the kind of experiments that the state might face in the next 3 months leading up to the elections.
Of course, you should be scary about
Okay, Brijesh Kalapa,
propaganda
one
of
of the
our
things
work
Mr.
and
Dhananjay
whatever work
said.
has been done.
Ma'am, that's the whole point. Talk about if your state president
there have
himself
been-
says don't talk about, roads and the work we have done. Just talk about Love Jihad because that's the most important thing. That's a narrative you are setting. We are not setting it. You gave us a topic to debate. We didn't think of it.
I'm telling you. No. I'm telling you, I just gave the data about the highways. I just gave you the data about the drinking water facilities in 54,000
Give me data about Love Jihad.
rural Karnataka.
Mr. Dhananjay is saying that the BJP wala speak out of thin air. Give me data on Love Jihad. How many cases of Love Jihad, for example, have been identified in Karnataka? Forget the rest of the country. Give me data. I'm sitting listening to you.
Two of the high courts of the India have taken this issue, then there must be something they have taken this issue. Okay, and we are also working on that. We'll come up very soon with the data.
See what the high courts have, ma'am, come on. See what the Supreme Court and the high courts have said. When you have said Love Jihad, they have said no, this is intercaste marriage. And you cannot stop anyone from an intercaste marriage in this country. Since we are still democratic and secular, thankfully.
We are not against intercaste marriage. Love Jihad is something where they need to give an application 2 months prior to the district commissioner. Okay, this is a prohibitionary unconditional conversion. First and foremost, there is terms and conditions for this Love Jihad where you have to give 2 months prior notice. If the person is found guilty, then he'll be sentenced to jail for 10 years and he'll get a non-bailable warrant. 2 months, let them give a notice to the district commissioner.
Guilty of what?
Because of converting a Hindu girl.
Ma'am, kya baat? Brijesh Kalapa, okay.
No. This is,
Brijesh, a lot of times you have spoken about Love Jihad and the narrative has gone about Love Jihad. I'm digressing a bit here. I'm running out of time. Mr. Kalapa, let you come in. The fact is that even in the Bombay case, even in the Tunisia case, where her ex-boyfriend is Muslim, you said Love Jihad, Love Jihad, Love Jihad, Love Jihad. What happened? Ultimately, the one photo that everyone on social media, especially right-wing trolls, were going about it was Tunisia in a hijab, praying to Lord Ganesha. And what was the narrative said? The narrative set was, look, they are converting her, they are trying to convert her, abhi se hijab pehnana shuru ho gaya. Turned out, it was part of the serial and the show she was shooting. So she was in costume. Ma'am, everyone sees through false propaganda and narrative. Brijesh Kalappa,
See, we don't need false
after all,
propaganda.
we are talking about a polarizing push ahead of elections.
I'll just complete with one
need
thing.
false propaganda, please.
So talk about that,
one of the
ma'am. Why talk about Love Jihad?
Concern for our daughters, yeah, there are so many cases
Okay.
of daughters
Okay,
who
let
are
me
praying
Let
to
me
Kalappa
just complete what I was trying to
They're
say.
asking our Hindu Rakshana
So
Vedika
give me
and the
numbers. When
BHP
you
and
say
all to
so
come
many
out of
daughters, give me numbers,
1 minute,
ma'am.
madam.
Ma'am,
You can speak later, madam.
Ma'am, we'll have another discussion. You don't have the numbers right now. Whenever you have the numbers of Love Jihad, you come with the numbers and I'll give you a full, I'll give you 20 minutes to speak.
Cases have taken, yeah.
Huh.
Why in the other interreligious marriages, why the murderers
so many,
or why the
mane
births
batao
are
na,
not
how
established?
many?
Acha, theek hai, ma, I'll tell you why in other interreligious
Give me
marriages, why
give
they're
me a
not
number.
cutting the Hindu girls? Why only when
Nobody
a Hindu
has
girl is
numbers.
married to a Muslim girl,
Nobody
she's
has numbers to
assassinated?
give on Love Jihad. Nowhere.
No,
else
you
they
tell
provided
me.
numbers
You
on
tell
Love
me
Jihad.
how many
Again, I'm
interreligious
saying,
marriages the Hindu girls
give
have
us
been
data.
assassinated. You tell me.
Give us
It is you
data.
have.
Let your government make an official statement
Okay, fine.
on the floor
I'll
of the
ask you today.
assembly. Let
Fine,
the
fine,
central
fine,
government
fine.
make an official statement in
Yeah,
parliament.
very soon we'll come up
and
with
then
that.
we'll talk
Very
about
soon we'll
Love
come up
Jihad.
with that. Shreya, and one more thing.
Okay,
On this
so we'll wait
platform,
for that.
I asked you. Yeah, you wait for that.
We'll
and
wait
one
for
more
that,
thing.
ma'am.
Okay, fine. Shreya, one more thing. When you are questioning me, this we'll come out with the strategies. Now, I'm asking you, tell me, you have been on this media since very long and you have given all the national updates. Tell me in how many interreligious marriages a Hindu girl has been assassinated from any other religion other than the Muslim. Tell me this now.
But even in this case, I'm talking about the Tunisha case. I'm talking about the Tunisha case. The girl died by suicide. You are talking about the Shraddha Walkar case, ma'am.
No, I am talking about
You're
so
talking
many
about the
cases.
Shraddha Walkar case, right?
Not only
You're talking about the
cases,
Shraddha
I'm
Walkar
talking
case
about
in
so
Delhi.
many cases. There are so many cases, Shraddha. Shreya, you know it very well. You're a national speaker. You're on a national
Shreya.
channel. You know it. Shreya, so please. So please, you tell me
data.
how many interreligious.
You give me data. Let your chief minister and the prime minister and the home minister make an official statement on the floor of the house. Then we will believe that Love Jihad is a serious issue. Otherwise, we will think it is only a diversionary tactic ahead of elections.
I'll personally speak to the president of our
okay, ma'am. And you
party.
promised to come with that data to my show. I'll be very happy to have you.
I'll come, and you also come with the data. What question I've asked you, Shreya?
Brijesh ji. Okay, done. That's a promise. Brijesh ji,
done.
Last 10 seconds. Anything?
Just to tell you, there have been 3 suicides. One of Mr. Santosh Patil in April of 22, in which he named Mr. Ishwarappa directly for 40% commission. Another suicide on the 31st of December in Tumkur, where he was also a victim of 40% commission. Now there is a third suicide on the 1st of January, in which Mr. Pradeep, a businessman, committed suicide, in which he named Mr. Limbawali, who's an MLA. Now, question is that after all this, you would have expected some arrest of either some minister or some MLA, because 306, as you know, is a abetment to suicide. No. None of the MLAs, none of the ministers are arrested.
Thank you.
The person who blew the whistle, Mr. Kempana, the person who said that there is 50% commission, he has been arrested. He has been arrested and he was taken, behind bars. Now, this is the state of Karnataka, and this is why people are speaking of all these issues, only to divert the people from the real issues.
Thank you so much for raising this question, Shreya. I'll tell
Sudha,
you,
I know a charge has been made against you. I just have 10 seconds, but go ahead.
Thank you so much. Although, when the Congress government was there, when Mr. Siddaramaiah was a chief minister, please go back to the history and see how many bureaucrats had committed suicide. Okay, there are a number of bureaucrats who had committed suicide. I was not into the party then. I was not a panelist or spokesperson then, but still then, that pinched me a lot that such educated, high-level, educated, intellectual people were committing suicide. What action has been taken against those people? Please come out with the answer for this. I was eagerly waiting to question this on a national channel.
We'll leave it there
since
for the
many
moment.
years.
No. I was waiting the elections in Karnataka 4 months away. And we will have many more. No, yaar, I'm out of time. Lavanya, I'm out of time. This is not ending.
Committing suicide. What is this? Then what will be the legal law and order situation in our country when the people who are holding those who committed suicide? What pressure they had come under?
We'll have this chat some other time, Dr. Sudha. Lavanya is smiling and she's also saying, "Bahut ho gaya, I need to go." So everyone needs to go, ma'am. I need to have a cup of coffee. Thank you.
Please,
We
have a
leave
cup
it
of
here.
coffee and
We
come
leave
and
it
get
here. I
my
have other
answers.
news to cover. Thank you very much, Dr. Sudha.
Thank you, Shreya.
Thank you. Thank
Happy
you
New
very
Year to
much.
you too.
Thank you,
Happy New Year.
Lavanya Ballal, for
Thank
joining
you.
us. Brijesh Kalappa, good to have you on the show. And KV Dhananjay, always good to have you on the show. I'm slipping into a quick break right here, but there's lots more news coming up on the other side. Do stay with us.